I had another topic. Ugh. That's why I write these things down. Oh yeah. Brime. So those of you I don't know, they're now that Mixer shut down, a lot of people are finding out about all these other websites and stuff that do streaming. So that people are finding out about Caffeine and Provo, Flexstorm, there's Fire something. I can't remember them all. I can't remember them all, folks. So those are just the ones I remember. But then the one that was garnering the most attention was this one called Brime, and that's because Dr. Disrespect was linked to it. So I thought Brime was fake. So I'm like, this shit ain't real, bro. Like, Brime, what the hell? So, because they didn't even have a website. Like, they have a website now, but they didn't even have a website at the time. They just had a Twitter and a Discord. And then everything just looked fake, yo. So I was like, yo, what the fuck going on with this? So, the CEO of Brime went live on Twitter today, on Periscope, and was answering questions. I watched the video twice, and I had some concerns about how all this shit's gonna work. Because I was worried about, everybody was asking the wrong questions. What people were asking was, how does partnership stuff work, and affiliates, and all that stuff, and all that stuff is important. I was like, yo, well, y'all getting, I asked 2 specific questions, and they was avoiding that shit like the plague, and I kept spamming it into it. I was spamming this question until I was like, yo, I was like, because he kept ignoring my question. I know he saw it because he looked at it and then he looked at my question. I saw him go like this because I was the only one talking at the time, and then he just straight ignored my question. I was like, bruh. So I spammed it in the chat, and I was like, yo, either I'm gonna get banned or y'all gonna answer my question. So I was spamming my question, and my question was, where is the Nere, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. House Spell, thank you for, oh snap, we getting some follows today. House Spell, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Those of y'all that just joining us, my name is Dangerous Voice, the People's Choice, live and direct from New York City. Currently playing Warframe. What is going on, folks? How y'all feeling? How y'all living?
Extraction is ready. Unless you can.
So what I was just talking about with this new streaming service called Brime. So Brime,
another opportunity to extract.
so Brime is apparently it's real, and the CEO of Brime is a fellow named TJ Marsh. He claims to have 5 or 6 other. No, he claims to have 6 different tech companies that he founded. He didn't name them. I asked him what they were. I spammed that in the chat too. Like, yo, what are the names of those companies? Didn't say what the names of them were. And so he was asked questions like, what big streamers are moving to the platform? He said he can't talk about it because they haven't had any talks with any streamers, and I guess they plan on talking to them, so he can't comment on them yet because he hasn't talked to anybody. But I guess their plans are to talk to some folks to try to get them to move over. So they're going to be they're probably going to be trying to poach people from YouTube and Twitch, definitely. Maybe a mid-tier streamer, maybe a streamer that has maybe 100,000 followers, maybe 50,000 followers in that range. They're not going to try to snatch like someone like Summit G or something like that. Like a big super streamer like that. No, they're going to try to probably grab a mid-tier streamer, like somebody in the between 10, I would say somebody between 10 to 50K followers. They're gonna try to get that guy or girl to come over and get a bunch of those people, which would be the right approach to me. And maybe give them little extra cheese on their Whopper, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what comes of that. So they said they couldn't comment on anything as far as streamers coming over to the platform, because I assume this is because they are planning on talking to people, and they have not yet, so they don't want to comment on it. What happened? Whom I like to ask. I'm talking about Brime. Watch Brime. Brime isn't fake, apparently. What I'm talking about. Devin Nash, everybody said it was fake. Either it's not fake, or these guys are taking it too far. So the reason why, and he addressed this too, the CEO of Brime, who Dr. Disrespect was rumored to go to, and that's why he's banned. He said that there was he said Brime is real, and he said the reason why people think it's fake because there were a bunch of trolls and hackers that were going around doing some frivolous stuff online and saying, oh, it's Brime, and saying that, hey, they're part of Brime, and they weren't. He was like, yo, Brime's a real thing, but then some trolls and hackers got a hold of it, and everybody thought we were fake. People were saying we were fake. Devin Nash himself, the guy that's supposed to know everything about streaming, even he was like, yo, this shit is fake. Like, don't take this serious. So now he was like, nah, it's real. It's just that hackers and trolls got a part of our stuff. He said they said hackers and trolls got into our email list to the point where, like, we had an email list for news and stuff, and we had to shut that down because trolls and hackers got into it, and they were saying stuff. And they were saying stuff and sending fake emails and all that stuff, so they had to shut that down as well. So that's why there's no emails going out. He said this is an alpha version of the Watch Brime website that they're testing right now. It's not available to the public, but they have a website. I think now him saying that, people are gonna look for it now, but they say it's not available to the public. And that they're testing. They had a bunch of alpha testers, so they're testing with the alpha testers now. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, Brian. There's no terms of service there's no terms of service written up. I wrote notes because I watched that whole stream twice. And it was about an hour. No terms of service is written up. They're still writing up a terms of service. So I guess what they're focusing on is, and which I think is important, is making sure the site can run, and make sure the site can run at scale. Which again, one of my questions was, where are you hosting the website? That was my question for the longest. I'm like, okay, where are you hosting the website? Are you using AWS? Are you using Azure? Are you using Google Cloud? What are you, DigitalOcean? What are you using to host the website? He said he said that they're using their own servers to host a website. I'm like, I rolled my eyes at that. And here's why I say that. He said, okay, we're using our own servers to host a website, a streaming website. First of all, I get it, but they have what you call a CDN, a content delivery network. So a CDN, all it is a CDN is kind of like servers placed around the world to deliver your content to the fastest. So basically, like, you have one box where all your essential stuff is, like your server at home, and then you send a copy of everything that's here to all the little content delivery, to all the little servers around the world, which are called CDNs, content delivery networks. And the reason why you do that is so the people, wherever they're at in the world, can get the information faster. This is how the internet works pretty much around the world. Like, you're getting your information, all the information that you're getting when you're online is from a CDN. And then there's different CDNs, and different companies have their own different companies have CDNs. So Cloudflare is probably the #1 CDN in the world, which is why when Cloudflare went down, all these major websites went down because they're all using it. So when they wasn't working, if Cloudflare was down, then their
We've
website
got
weren't working
signals
either.
singing the same song as our victim. Careful now.
So Amazon, Google, and Microsoft have their own content delivery networks or their own CDN, so they don't need to use anybody else's. But then the public uses whoever, depending on their service and their website. Each website on the internet will determine which CDN they want to use, and they have a network guy that they pay, which somebody like me, who knows what the CDN is, and he wants to be picked, and he's the one that picks each CDN. But anyway, that I got a little technical for you. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to explain to you as simple as I can how all that works. So the question I asked is, where are you hosting the website? He said, we're using a CDN and we're hosting the stuff ourselves. I said, your shit. So me knowing how networks work is, yo, Brime, y'all not going to be able to scale with that model. So then I asked the question, what's your plan once you have to scale? Didn't have an answer. I'm like, he didn't have an answer for that. I'm like, okay, well, how do you plan to scale? Because eventually, because you have to plan for your website to work out. So if Brime works out, he cannot host it himself. He would have to go to a bigger service that can handle it. What is your plan for that? Which he did not have a plan for. I was like, okay, that's red flag. That's red flag number one for me. So I'm like, shit, that's a problem Trovo's gonna have. That's the problem Trovo's gonna have, because I don't think their shit is scaling. I think Trovo's using their own server, so I'm okay. I hope they have a plan to scale, because you know, if your website gets popular, you're gonna need a lot more bandwidth, a lot more traffic, a lot more firepower, and you don't have it. And he didn't even have a plan for it. I'm pretty sure like all these other websites that are smaller, they have a plan for scaling. He didn't even have a plan. He don't have a TOS. He don't even have a TOS either. So I was like, okay, 2 red flags here. Then, you know, well, I guess this is a good thing. You're gonna be on Brime. You're gonna be in a. These are all words out of his mouth. So if anything sounds crazy, I'm like, yo, this is what my man said on the stream. I wrote it down. He said you're gonna be anybody can be pretty much you're an affiliate from the jump. He said it's a 24-hour waiting period for you being an affiliate on Brime, similar to Twitch. But you should be able to monetize within 48 hours of being on the site. So basically, you sign up for the site, you stream, and then 24 hours later, you'll be an affiliate able to monetize and earn on the platform. He said the subscriptions are going to be $7, and Brime takes $2, whereas Twitch they take half. Brime is taking 25%, which people can deal with. Brime is taking 20 to 25%. They claim to have FTL, faster than light. No, they don't. Not if he's hosting this shit himself and he's using a CDN. He doesn't have FTL unless. The only way. No, you know what? Scratch that. He can have FTL on his website on Brime if he's hosting it himself. If he's using Cloudflare. If you're using Cloudflare, Amazon, Google, or Microsoft for his CDN, he didn't say what CDN he was using. I asked him that. He didn't say. He just said he had a CDN. I said, which one? He was like, I'm not. He said he can't talk about it. I'm like, you can't tell people what CDN you're using, really. A lot of people don't even know what the fuck that is. I'm just one of the folks I know. I'm just one of the few IT guys that knows what it is. So, said he couldn't talk about it. I'm like, okay. But if he's using one of those 4, he can have FTL. So, scratch what I just said. Yeah, he can't have FTL. If he's not using one of those 4, which I hope he's not, then he doesn't have FTL, which means he can't have that fast upload bit rates and stuff. Those high bit rates and those fast bit rates like he's saying that he can have. He's saying he can have. He can't because he doesn't have the service or the firepower to have it. So those were my issues with Brime. A lot of stuff going on over there. He couldn't confirm or deny a lot of stuff. I was in there saying that the website was fake. Apparently it's not, so we'll see what happens with Brime. We will see what happens with Brime, folks. I am not convinced. It's probably gonna be another Trovo. Or a Trovo. It's probably gonna be another Trovo, another D Live, or another Caffeine where it's like, oh, this is another website, but nobody's on it. And I can say that because I haven't streamed on D Live, but the only reason to go over there was PewDiePie, and PewDiePie's not even there anymore. So I've been on there, and I was on there, I was like, yo, this website just looks atrocious. Like, I didn't even like the way it looked. So I was off of it. Then, Caffeine I've actually streamed on, and Caffeine actually needs to improve. So Caffeine is actually running streams on there. Running streams on there is pretty smooth. The chat interaction and the chat moderation is pretty good over there. Thing is, they need to fix their front page UI. They need to fix their UI on how to navigate the site because it's a mess. They need to fix that. I think once they fix that, there'd be a pretty good site. It's just that nobody's on it. And that they're paying celebrities and stuff to talk about it and be on it, but like there's no point. It's like there's no folks on there. Now, if you're somebody that likes saturated games, so like on Twitch, when you're a new streamer, they tell you don't play saturated games. Don't be playing the Fortnites, the Call of Duties, all that stuff, right? Because you're not gonna get any viewers because all the big streamers are taking have the viewers for those games, and nobody's gonna find your stream with 2-3 viewers in it. So what they said was, so on that website, the only way you get views on that website is if you play a saturated game. So if you're somebody that, hey, I like playing Fortnite, I like playing Apex Legends, PUBG, Call of Duty, like that's a website you can get viewers on rather quickly playing a saturated game like that. So like if you play a big game and that's all you like playing, like look, all I like playing is Call of Duty. Yeah, you can go over there and get a following pretty quickly. So that's the one positive about Caffeine that I've seen. Mind you, I was on Caffeine last year. So just letting you know, like take what I say with a grain of salt. Like things could have changed, but when I was on it, I streamed Fortnite, got 10 viewers automatically. At that point, I couldn't average 10 viewers on Twitch yet. 10 people came in there and watched me play Fortnite. So I'm just letting y'all know, like, yo, a saturated. If you're on Caffeine, a saturated game, and you like saturated games, you'll grow on there pretty quickly. Because that's the only thing that gets views over there. So yep, that was my whole thing about Brime. Oh yeah, that's the whole thing about Brime. Hell yeah, I have one. There was one more point I had about Brime. It's a small point though. Yo, these fools were using. They use WordPress to test. They use WordPress to test their site. Now, y'all might think, well, you know, 90% of the internet uses WordPress. I'm like, yeah, but none of the streaming websites use WordPress. They were the only one. And then the website crashed, and they were like, "Why did it crash?" Like, you're using WordPress, you idiot. WordPress isn't built for something like that. You know how I know? I use WordPress every day at my job to back up we use it as a front page for our server and stuff, but we use it to host content, videos and news and videos and journals and articles. We ain't trying to stream off that shit. they don't even have tools in there for you to handle something like that. But that's how, when they used it to test their website, I was like, oh, bro, who's that IT guy, yo? Who thought that was a good idea? They're a new company, so they're gonna make mistakes, but that was a glaring issue. That guy, and like, if I was to, it was an instance where, like, if I was to do something like that, yo, I'm fired, or I'm relieved of that particular duty.